Warmest greetings, aspiring writers. Welcome to Lecture 7 in the Becoming an Author series, designed to cultivate the storytelling skills of middle school students. This lecture explores the mechanics of writing dialogue, a fundamental craft that animates characters and enriches narratives. Dialogue mechanics encompasses the structured rules and techniques for crafting clear, compelling conversations in stories. The lecture covers the purpose of dialogue, its structural conventions, the strategic use of dialogue tags, and the integration of dialogue with speech and action, exposition, and character thoughts. It also addresses non-standard punctuation, character introduction, context clarification, dialogue simplicity, narrative integration, and includes a comprehensive dialogue exercise. Insights from renowned authors paired with excerpts from classic literature provide inspiration and practical guidance. These principles empower writers to create dialogue that enhances narrative clarity and captivates readers. Prepare to take notes and master the art of giving characters vibrant, authentic voices. Dialogue in fiction serves deliberate purposes, driven by character motivation, the reasons behind a character's words, such as expressing emotions, pursuing goals, or resolving conflicts. As Elmore Leonard advised, try to leave out the part that readers tend to skip. This principle emphasizes crafting dialogue that advances the narrative or reveals character, avoiding irrelevant chatter. In everyday conversations, people speak to share information, persuade, comfort, or entertain. In stories, dialogue must fulfill these roles with precision, advancing the plot, revealing character traits, or providing exposition, background information that clarifies the story's context. For example, in a narrative about Mia, a student detective investigating a missing school trophy, her dialogue might advance the mystery. "I saw Mr. Carter near the trophy case yesterday," said Mia. This line reveals a clue, showcases Mia's investigative nature, and provides exposition. Her friend's response, "You're always suspecting someone," highlights their dynamic, adding humor and deepening their relationship. To illustrate, consider an excerpt from E.B. White's Charlotte's Web, Chapter 3. "You can go back up," said one of the geese. "It's nice and roomy up there." "I'll stay," said Wilbur. "I like it down here." This dialogue reveals Wilbur's stubborn yet curious personality and the geese's encouragement, providing exposition about the barn's setting while advancing the plot toward Wilbur's adjustment to his new home. The exchange demonstrates how dialogue reflects character motivation and moves the story forward. Another example involves a scenario where two characters plan a school event. Real-life dialogue might ramble, so maybe we could have like a talent show or something. Or, I don't know, maybe a bake sale. In a story, this becomes, "How about a talent show?" asked Zoe. "A bake sale would raise more money," said Ben. This version highlights conflicting priorities and advances the narrative. A further example features a group project discussion. "We need a historical theme," said Emma. "Sci-fi is more exciting," replied Liam. This exchange reveals their differing interests, setting up tension that drives the story. Fictional speech distinguishes story dialogue from real-life conversations. Real-world speech often includes hesitations, repetitions, or filler words like or like, resulting in disorganized exchanges. Toni Morrison noted, "Dialogue, to be believable, must be selective, sharpened to reveal character or advance the story. This selectivity ensures fictional speech is concise and purposeful." Morrison's advice encourages writers to craft dialogue that serves the narrative, as seen in Charlotte's Web, where Wilbur's simple refusal to move reveals his personality without unnecessary words. To apply this, consider a classroom debate. "We should study dinosaurs," said Sarah. "Space exploration is cooler," replied Tom. This concise exchange highlights their personalities and advances the plot, aligning with Morrison's principle of selective dialogue. Writers can practice by transforming real-life conversations, such as a discussion about a favorite game, into concise fictional dialogue that reveals character or plot. Effective dialogue adheres to grammar rules, the structural principles governing language and punctuation, marks like commas and quotation marks that organize text. These elements, part of dialogue mechanics, ensure clarity and readability. Stephen King emphasized, "Good dialogue is a delight to read, bad dialogue is deadly." Proper formatting prevents confusion, making dialogue accessible. Use quotation marks. Enclose a character's exact words in quotation marks. Example, "I love soccer," said Alex. New paragraph for each speaker. Begin a new paragraph when a different character speaks to distinguish speakers clearly. Capitalize the first word. Start the first word within quotation marks with a capital letter. Punctuate dialogue tags appropriately. Dialogue tags, phrases like "he said" or "she asked," identify the speaker and appear outside quotation marks with specific punctuation. To illustrate this concept, consider an excerpt from Charles Dickens' David Copperfield, Chapter 1. "If you please, Aunt, I am your nephew." "Oh, Lord," said my aunt, and sat flat down in the garden path. "I am David Copperfield of Blunderstone in Suffolk." This demonstrates proper quotation marks, capitalization, and tags like "said my aunt," integrated with action, "sat flat down," ensuring clarity and vividness. To master these grammar rules and punctuation, study dialogue in novels like Harry Potter or The One and Only Ivan. J.K. Rowling's clear punctuation ensures readability. Practice by copying a page of dialogue from a favorite book and checking for these rules. For example, rewrite a real-life conversation like, I don't know, are you like going to the game into, "Are you going to the game?" asked Alex. Another exercise is to refine a conversation about weekend plans, such as, maybe we could like go to the movies or something, into, "Let's go to the movies," said Emma. A third exercise involves creating a short dialogue between two characters discussing a school club activity, ensuring proper punctuation and paragraph breaks to reinforce formatting skills. Most fiction uses standard punctuation, but some writers employ non-standard punctuation, such as dashes or no quotation marks for stylistic effect. Examples include, "I'm leaving now," said Mia, or "I'm leaving now, Mia turned away." Cormac McCarthy, known for minimal punctuation, stated, "I believe in periods, in capitals, in the occasional comma, and that's it." His approach creates a raw tone but can obscure speakers, requiring readers to infer from context. For instance, in McCarthy's The Road, dialogue blends into the narrative, creating intensity but challenging clarity. In contrast, standard punctuation supports narrative integration, blending dialogue seamlessly into the text. Compare McCarthy's style to The Hobbit, where clear quotation marks make Bilbo Baggins' conversations accessible. Standard punctuation ensures clarity, as seen in Charlotte's Web, where dialogue is straightforward and engaging. Dialogue tags serve character introduction, identifying a speaker for the first time, and context clarification, adding details to clarify meaning. Elmore Leonard advised, "Never use a verb other than said to carry dialogue. The line of dialogue belongs to the character. The verb is the writer sticking his nose in." This emphasizes dialogue simplicity, letting the character's words shine. Leonard's principle encourages writers to rely on dialogue content, using tags only when necessary. Use tags in these scenarios. Character introduction. Introduce a new speaker. Example, "Can I join the science club?" asked Sam, a new student. Multiple speakers. Identify each speaker initially in group conversations. Example, "Are we hiking today?" asked Lily. "Only if it's sunny," said Max. Context clarification. Convey emotions not evident in words. Example, "I'm fine," said Jake nervously, suggesting discomfort. To exemplify, consider an excerpt from S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders, Chapter 1. "Okay, pony boy," Johnny said with a quiet voice. "We'll walk over." "I don't want you to get hurt," I said slowly. This uses simple tags, said, and context clarification, with a quiet voice, introducing Johnny and Ponyboy while revealing their cautious friendship. Favor simple tags like said or asked. Instead of, "You're late," she shouted angrily. "Right, you're late," she said, slamming the door. The action conveys emotion, aligning with Leonard's advice. In short exchanges, omit tags after initial identification. "Are you going to the dance?" asked Emma. "Maybe," said Liam. "It'll be fun." The alternating pattern clarifies speakers. In longer conversations, like a detective questioning a suspect, add tags periodically. For example, "Where were you last night?" asked Detective Lee. After several exchanges, a tag like "Lee pressed" maintains clarity. Another example involves a classroom debate. "We should study space exploration," said Sarah. "Ancient history is more relevant," replied Tom. Periodic tags ensure clarity. Effective dialogue integrates with speech and action, physical movements during dialogue, and character thoughts, internal reflections, to achieve narrative integration, creating vivid scenes. Alice Munro observed, "Dialogue is not just quotation. It is grimaces, pauses, adjustments of blouse buttons, and all the other things people do when they talk." Stories should reflect this complexity, showing actions and thoughts to enhance realism. Munro's insight encourages writers to weave dialogue with physical and emotional details, making scenes dynamic. Consider a basic dialogue. "I found a secret tunnel," said Zoe. "Where?" said Ben. With actions and thoughts, Zoe clutched a dusty map, eyes sparkling. "I found a secret tunnel. This could lead to adventure." Ben leaned forward, heart racing. "Where?" The actions and thoughts enhanced the scene. Another example, adapted from a narrative about Kevin, a young editor, and his supervisor, Eileen. Basic dialogue. "I've seen you at the gym," said Eileen. "Yes," said Kevin. With actions and thoughts, Eileen stood behind her desk, flipping through carpet samples. "I've seen you at the gym. She notices me." Kevin straightened in his chair, hopeful. "Yes," he said, steadying his voice. This reveals Eileen's authority and Kevin's nervousness. For another scenario, consider friends planning a project. Basic dialogue. "We should build a model volcano," said Sarah. "A robot would be cooler," said Tom. With actions and thoughts, Sarah scribbled in her notebook, pencil flying. "We should build a model volcano. It'll impress the teacher." Tom tapped his foot, picturing circuits. "A robot would be cooler." Tech is the future. To further demonstrate, consider an excerpt from Lois Lowry's The Giver, Chapter 2. "How do you feel about the ceremony?" Father asked. Jonas shrugged. "Okay, I guess," he added, a little nervous. This integrates dialogue with action, shrugging, and thoughts implied through Jonas's hesitant response, revealing his uncertainty about a community ritual, enhancing the narrative's emotional depth. Another example from Alice Munro's Walker Brothers Cowboy. "Hello there, missus. It's the Walker Brothers man, and what are you out of today?" A door opens, he disappears. This integrates dialogue with action, approaching a farmhouse door, enhancing the narrative's rural atmosphere. To develop dialogue skills, engage in a dialogue exercise. Compose a half-page dialogue between two characters with conflicting objectives, such as one wanting to play video games and the other preferring to skateboard. Dialogue only. Write only the spoken words like a play script. Example, "Let's play video games." "No, let's go skateboarding." Basic tags. Add simple tags like said or asked. Example, "Let's play video games," said Mia. "No, let's go skateboarding," said Jake. Descriptive tags. Use tags to show emotion like shouted. Example, "Let's play video games," Mia shouted. "No, let's go skateboarding," Jake grumbled. Actions. Include physical actions. Example, Mia waved her controller. "Let's play video games." Jake grabbed his skateboard. "No, let's go skateboarding." Thoughts. Add one character's thoughts. Example, Mia waved her controller. "Let's play video games. I'm so close to winning." Jake grabbed his skateboard. "No, let's go skateboarding." Fresh air beats screens. Analyze each version, reflecting on how tone, emotion, and context shift. For example, descriptive tags add intensity, while actions and thoughts create a vivid scene. For additional practice, write a dialogue about a school event like a talent show versus a sports day. Basic dialogue. We need a talent show, said Lily. A sports day is better, said Max. With actions and thoughts, Lily flipped through a music playlist, smiling. We need a talent show. Everyone can shine. Max kicked a soccer ball, frowning. Competition builds teamwork. For a third scenario, write a dialogue about choosing a weekend activity, like visiting a museum versus going to a park. Basic dialogue. Let's visit the museum, said Emma. The park's more fun, said Liam. With actions and thoughts, Emma held a museum brochure, eyes bright. Let's visit the museum. I'll learn so much. Liam tossed a frisbee, grinning. The park's more fun. I need to run. For a fourth scenario, write a dialogue about selecting a book for a reading club. Basic dialogue. We should read a mystery, said Sarah. A fantasy book is better, said Tom. With actions and thoughts, Sarah clutched a detective novel, eyes gleaming. We should read a mystery. I love solving puzzles. Tom flipped through a fantasy book, smiling. A fantasy book is better. Magic is so cool. This exercise, inspired by Morrison's call for selective dialogue, helps craft purposeful conversations. Another exercise involves rewriting a real-life conversation, like a debate about homework, into fictional dialogue with proper formatting and integrated actions and thoughts. For example, transform, homework's too hard, can we skip it, into, homework's too hard, said Sarah, slumping in her chair. I'd rather read comics. Lecture 7 in the Becoming an Author series has provided a comprehensive framework for crafting effective dialogue. Dialogue mechanics establish clear conversations. Character motivation drives purposeful dialogue, while fictional speech, per Morrison, ensures engagement. Grammar rules and punctuation, including non-standard punctuation as McCarthy practiced, maintain readability. Dialogue tags facilitate character introduction and context clarification, but dialogue simplicity, per Leonard, prioritizes minimal use. Narrative integration combines speech and action with character thoughts, as Munro emphasized, for immersive scenes. Dialogue exercises offer practical application, reinforced by King's call for delightful dialogue. These tools enable dialogue that enhances narrative clarity and engagement. Apply quotation marks, new paragraphs, and correct punctuation consistently. Use tags judiciously, favoring simplicity, and integrate actions and thoughts to enrich scenes. Practice the dialogue exercise to refine skills, experimenting to find the best style. Dialogue brings characters to life with authenticity and impact. Keep your pencils sharp, your mind open, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.